patch of grass has the potential to become a skyscraper. All it needs is to be put under construction. Welcome back to yet another epic episode of Under Construction SA. I'm your host, Thuso Motsomane. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please click on that subscription button. And if you are not being part of the notification gang, actually, no score English, sorry. But if you're not part of the notification gang, please click on that notification button so that every time we drop an episode, you are notified. Today we have a very, very special episode with a special guest, Mrs. Bux, who's going to be teaching us on everything finances. And she's from Old Mutual. We're going to be learning about finances, how to save, how to invest, and a bit more about financial literacy. Mrs. Bux, welcome back. Welcome to Under Construction SA. You are muted.
Hi, Thuso. Thank you so much. Good to touch base with you again.
So for someone that doesn't know you, can you just tell them a little bit about your background, where you're from, and what you are all about?
So my name is Shabnam. It's Shabnam Bux, and I am from the Learning Division, the Wellness Division from Old Mutual. I come from a specific division called Financial Education, and basically that's the team I belong to. We're incredibly passionate, my entire team. We go out there and we help change lives. You know, the idea is really to just empower people, empower the nation at large on financial matters, and really about savings, about budgeting, about visions and goals. You know, debt management, which is really a major thing right now for many people out there, and wealth creation. Everybody wants to know how to make more money. You know, what is it that they need to do? So we actually utilize a beautiful concept called the Big Five animals. I'm sure everyone knows the Big Five animals. So what we do is we utilize that as a concept, and we extract positive behaviors from these animals. We try and adapt and adopt these behaviors into our daily lives, just to perhaps assist ourselves in terms of how to manage our money better. You know, there's no such thing as perfect. I'm a firm believer of that. And there's always a little bit more to learn. So really that's what we're doing in a nutshell at financial education. Yeah. And that's
wow. Wow, man. Speaking about passion and education, I think when I first heard you speak, when you came for a master class at Digify Pro, what stood out, because sometimes, you know, we've had many master classes, and sometimes you can be busy doing your stuff, but what stood out, what grabbed my attention from you was the passion. You know, when people are passionate about something, they cannot be ignored. And that's for me, that's what I remember even texting my friend on WhatsApp. I'm like, yo, you know what, most of the time on these masterclass, sometimes I don't get what people are doing with it, because some of the things are not my interests, right? Or people, and even in presentation, I believe that you have to deliver it as much as the information can be valuable, but the way it's delivered is important, because that's where you get people's attention. That's where people get to engage and listen to your information, right? So you grabbed me when it comes to passion. And I remember, like I say, texting my friend, I'm like, yo, this woman is really, really, really passionate about this thing of finances. And I just wanted to say that and shout out to you. And what did you say got you or made you passionate about the financial sector or financial education?
You know, for me, I'm a firm believer that financial education is so paramount in everyone's lives. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, because it really equips you. I'm a firm believer it will equip you with the knowledge that you have, you know, the skills to make better money decisions. I'm passionate about changing lives, you know, and this is one of the ways to help people change lives, you know, make money decisions more effectively, you know, rather than just making those decisions and not knowing where you're going and what you're doing. So I truly believe that without financial education, our financial decisions that we take, and a lot of the time the decisions that we don't take actually impact us. And this will basically lack in a solid foundation for your finances. So for me, I believe that everyone across the board, regardless of who you are or where you are, even my little 7-year-old boy, needs to understand what finances is from a young age. So I'm just a firm believer that finances and just making the right decisions and knowing what to do with it will equip you for your future, just to make better decisions. I just believe that they say if you know better, you do better. So yeah, that's just basically why I'm so passionate about it. Changing those lives and hearing people say, oh, you've created a difference in my life. That's my goal reached. Yeah. Just so you're on mute.
I'm so sorry. So I was thinking about changing lives, right? To say, that's what we're about as under construction. It's all about impact and changing lives, and that's what we founded this broad podcast, right? And if someone doesn't know what we're about and you're watching this for the first time, most of the time we put on young people on the rise from different industries, and as well we bring people who are from different fields who are experienced and who can educate us better, who can, like Jeanette here, who can, Mrs. Bux, who can who can educate us about finances. Yeah. But Mrs. Bux, I want to go into why do you think people make wrong financial decisions? What's the root of that?
Sorry, say again. Why do I think people make
bad financial decisions?
It's because people don't know better. It's so important. I'm a firm believer that knowledge is power. And I believe that they lack that information to make those decisions. So it is, much as knowledge is power, information is so liberating. Education is the premise of progress in everyone's lives, in every society. The idea is to basically say, and as I said earlier, if you know better, you do better. And that's basically why many people make the wrong financial decisions. They don't know better, perhaps they lack the knowledge, or maybe they haven't been given the information, to make better decisions. So there's various things that can happen. Sometimes, people don't want to know better, and then they think, oh, what I don't know won't hurt me. But eventually it does hurt your pocket. So yeah, that for me is why I believe that, yeah, people make bad decisions. Old Mutual has also done some research. And our research actually shows that poor financial habits are the root of poor money management. And I believe that. I truly believe that, if we have better if we are financially savvy, we'll be able to make better decisions. Yeah.
So how do I then change my habits if I have bad habits?
Learning is the key to so. Embracing and understanding what you need to do. Take those steps in learning firstly, and also, seek knowledge from your cradle to your grave. So when someone gives you the tools to make better decisions, take it. Even if you take one little thing and you create one little difference in your life, I believe, I'm another believer of change is always good. Embrace it. In every circumstance that changes, there's an opportunity to do better. Look for that opportunity. Utilize the information that you get. There's a lot of information. Many years back, we didn't have the awareness of financial education out there, but now there's so much out there. So take the information that you have out there. Take what you think is going to work for you. Implement it in your lives. Try it out. You might as well try and fail than fail to try. So yeah, I think one needs to just embrace the information, embrace the knowledge, embrace the change, and just do better. Try and do better.
So since you speak about embracing and being educated, do you guys as Old Mutual have a place where one can come and learn, whether it's an app, whether it's on your website, or whether it's a program that you have where you teach financial education?
Yes. We've got something called Moneyversity on our Old Mutual website. So there's a really, really nice rewards program that Old Mutual runs. So there's various ways that one can interact with financial education. The first one is you can interact as we've done the session with Digify, where we do it on a platform where we would then do a team session or a Zoom session and that sort of thing, where you would have that personal effect where an individual would then identify with your needs, and then we talk about sitting down in a session and in a forum like that and talking about the different concepts that are out there in terms of money management. We've got an Old Mutual website that one can go to. We are on Instagram, we are on Twitter, we are a part of the Old Mutual Rewards program. The Old Mutual Rewards program is all about learning while you earn points as well. So when you go onto the Old Mutual program, the Old Mutual Rewards site, you learn different things about yourself. On the Old Mutual site as well, we've got something called Moneyversity. We've got the On the Money program as well. There's so many different platforms that one can interact. If you want personal interaction face-to-face, we go out and we do face-to-face trainings. If you want the e-learning sort of aspect, then you can obviously go onto our website and request for a session. You can do it, as I said, as we've done sessions with you guys online. There's so many platforms that we utilize to engage and engage people in terms of learning and financial education.
Wow, that's amazing. And I hope people that are listening know where to go, as Jeanette said. And I think maybe we'll put some of the links in our description for anyone.
Yes, I'll send you those links. There's so much. We on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. We have our Old Mutual, website as well. So yeah, there's various platforms that one can interact with.
Okay. So my question is then, for someone who doesn't know anything about investment, someone who knows zero, what are the different types of investments that are available?
So investments and different types of investments is actually a broad question that one would then ask, because there's so much out there that one can interact with based on your needs. So there's various investments. I mean, you can look at perhaps bonds, which is less volatile than the stocks. You can look at shares. You can look at normal banking products, like your savings products that banks have. There's unit trusts, there's endowments, there's retirement products, perhaps like your retirement annuities and things like that. So there's so many different products that are out there too. So, and what one needs to actually understand firstly is it's not a one size fits all for everyone. So you then need to, as an individual, sit down with a financial advisor who will then, do a needs analysis on you, and then they will be able to understand, okay, so based on your needs, based on the questions that I've asked you, this is best product that you would then, take up and continue with as you go along the way in your life.
You speak about needs and needs analysis, right? But I'm thinking right now, let's indulge me where we are. This is Thuso. All I want is to make money. I'm not thinking about anything. I want to make money so that I can, like you said, if people want to be wealthy, I want to be financially free. I want to buy cars. There's a lot, but I want to make money.
Yeah.
Like for me is what then would be the analysis? Because for me, I want to make money. Because you said there's invest bonds, whatever. So I want to understand that from those options that you threw in, how are you going to determine what would suit Thuso? Because Thuso just wants to make money.
Yeah. So Thuso, firstly, I have to say I'm a financial educator, not a financial advisor. So there's a big difference between the two of us, right? Me as a financial educator will not do the needs analysis on you based on what you require for yourself in terms of your long-term savings and things like that. However, with that said, being a financial educator, and this is by no means advice that I'm giving to you, but one of the nicest products that I believe that's out there right now is the tax-free investments. And for me, I think it was really nice. You're such a young individual. It's actually one of the most powerful tax savings tools that one would actually utilize at this stage. But when you sit down with a financial advisor, there's various questions that you should then ask, for yourself to understand what is the best product for you. For instance, what is the return on the investment? So Thuso is saying, I want to make money, I want to get the most out of the money that I'm putting in. So what is at the end of this period, if I'm going to invest for 10 years, what is actually going to be the return on the investment for me after 10 years? In addition to that, what are the tax implications on this investment? Because, I could put 500 rands into this investment and then half of it could be taxed by the end of this period that I'm investing in. So what are the tax implications on this? It's important to really understand the risks that you are taking. So you as Thuso, a financial advisor needs to understand what is Thuso's appetite for risk. Is he willing to take a high risk? Because Thuso wants to make money, but some people that want to make money are not willing to take a high risk investment. So is Thuso willing to take a high risk investment, but also bearing in mind that that high risk investment will also bring about high risk of losing at the same time because the market's so volatile. So those are basically things that Thuso as an individual needs to look at and basically needs to talk to a financial advisor about, because when they do their needs analysis, they ask you about what are your visions and your goals? Where do you see yourself? So Thuso wants to make money, but what does Thuso want to make money for? What's his aim in life? Also, how long does he have in order to do this? So based on those questions that he would then ask you, that or she rather, they would then be able to give you the right advice on information and products that would best suit Thuso.
And I like the way your explanation was so detailed, because most of the time when you walk into banks or you walk into insurance companies and you walk into institutions, they don't actually tell you maybe the tax implication, the hidden cost. They just say, yeah, you're gonna make this much money, you get there, because you know nothing, because we go not knowing. We go with trusting the banks. I go into an Old Mutual or whatever bank, and I go there trusting, or insurance plan, I go there trusting that they have my best interest. To only find out later when I'm in trouble that, oh no, there were tax implications, they're going to take half. There were hidden costs that I didn't know about, because the financial advisor decided not to disclose certain things, because all they cared about is the money, and I want to go into tax, but since I mentioned the financial advisor, then how does Thuso make sure that he avoids a financial advisor like that, or identifies a good financial advisor that has my best interest? I know obviously the company needs to benefit, but as well, I think it's a mutual benefit. Like both of us have to take something out of that. So how do I then identify a good financial officer? Is it officer?
Advisor,
whatever you call it.
financial
Advisor.
Yes.
So what are the red flags? What are the signs?
Okay, so it's so important firstly to understand yourself first. In terms of financial education, I always say understand yourself first. What does Thuso need? So before Thuso sits down with somebody, understand what questions you want to ask the individual. So when you're sitting down, someone's not telling you about a product that might best suit them or suit a friend of theirs, but it actually suits Thuso, because Thuso is asking the right question. And when I talk about asking the right questions, I'm saying, talk to them about what is the investment period? Like I said, what is the tax implications? What is how does the impact of inflation and the rate of inflation affect my product? That will then aid you in understanding as well. What is the volatility of this product? So is it high risk, medium risk, low risk? Those sort of things is important to ask. But when you sit down, and coming back to your question, when you sit down with a financial advisor, the mark of a good financial advisor is actually one that's curious, one that actually asks questions about you in terms of understanding who Thuso is. Doing a needs analysis, that's one of the most important things an advisor needs to tell. What is the needs analysis? What does Thuso need? So when an advisor sits down and they talk to you and they analyze you and they're professional about what they're doing, then you're sitting with the right person. The individual needs to be passionate about what they're doing, questioning Thuso about where's Thuso at? What does Thuso want? Where does he want to be? That sort of thing. Getting personable with you is a very, very important trait and mark a good financial advisor. But most importantly, that financial advisor needs to sit down with Thuso and do a needs analysis on him. Because if he does not do a needs analysis on Thuso, then how then does he know what Thuso needs for him, his life and his future? Then it's just easy to just sell a product, what you were just saying right now. So yeah, I say firstly, understand who you are, understand what you're going to ask, and then sit down with someone who's going to do a needs analysis on you and give you the right advice. Yeah.
Wow, I like it. I love the explanation. I think it's so clear, and I think some of us didn't know, how what that it first starts with me, right? That the onus is on me to find out. Okay, I must identify my needs and where I want to go financially before I go to the bank. And I know that when I get to a bank or to a financial institution, one of the things they must do is ask me questions. Even I should ask questions as well, like you said. But I like when you say how you locate a financial advisor, a good one is they ask questions because they're gonna help you find the right plan or investment that will suit your need. What the key way that I like today is needs analysis. That's where we start, and I think that's what for me personally, and I hope people who are watching are taking away from as we start with the needs analysis. And you spoke about tax, right? And because even when it comes to I did a bit of research for me, and I think it was back in I was still in Bible school in East London, and I used to read sort of books and stuff like that. And I used to do just a little bit of research on finances. And one of the things, was it actually you? I don't know if it was you guys, but I remember going into different banks. For some reason, I was like, let me compare. Because there was the tax-free account, right?
Yeah, tax-free.
Tax investment, yeah. So one of the things I picked up, because that was just me starting to learn, is that as much as it's tax-free, it was up to a certain amount. I don't know if I wanted to ask, is it that way with every tax-free account or investment that it has a cap, as far as you know, or maybe from your side?
So to say every investment type is subject to a different tax set of rules, right? So when you're looking at perhaps tax, and what you would be liable for, it really depends on your personal circumstances, the nature of the investment vehicle that you are using as well. So different products will be taxed differently. Even the underlying assets. So if you're looking at a tax-free investment, which, and I keep saying this, and for me, I believe it's one of the most powerful tax-free savings tools that's actually available to savers out there. Especially if you're going to be invested for the long term, it's great. With the tax-free investment, it caps it, you're right, it caps it, you say that. It allows you to basically invest a maximum of, say, 3,000 rands, I think, a month, a maximum of about 36,000 rands a year. And then it actually looks at a lifetime maximum of, say, around 500,000 rands. And that's how it works. That's how that specific tax-free investment works. So it's across the board for everyone in terms of the tax-free investment.
But wouldn't you say, if I look at it at face value, it's deceiving? Because that's how I felt. That's how I felt. Those years, I'm like, they say tax-free, but they don't disclose. Because I think when I did a bit of digging, that's when I said, oh, it's not actually. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was asking the questions and mentioning the things I was mentioning. That sometimes you walk in under and say you don't know. Just say I'm looking for this as a tax-free account, and you sign up. You don't ask questions because you saw they advertise it as tax-free. You know, when you see tax-free, you go crazy. Like, yo, I'm not gonna. This is gonna be all my. So for me, I feel like I don't know. Isn't that a bit deceiving though?
So you know, I can't even answer that for you because I'm not a financial advisor, right? But that is why I believe that it's so important for everyone to be able to get information like financial education, where it creates an awareness in your mind and your thoughts. Then you need to have this mindset shift. And your thoughts are very different from almost that naive way of thinking to moving into, I need to question these type of things. And that is why I say, you know, when you consider investments and things like that, these are very important questions to ask. What are the tax implications? You know, if I'm putting X amount in here and I'm getting X amount at the end of the period, it's very good to tell me I'm getting R1 million at the end of this period, but how much of that R1 million is actually coming to me, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm really a believer that the education that you actually get from financial education sessions like this, then just help you in asking those questions, because you then have that shift, and then you're able to basically utilize the information that you've learned to make better decisions as you go along.
I think you answered me sufficiently. I like the way you answered it, that at the end of the day, it goes back to financially educating yourself, right? To then, and we must not go into something or anything like, even when you go to varsity, right? You first look at the prospectus. It tells you what's the APA score. You sort of know what's happening in the school, where you know the financial structure. Like you as a student, just even speaking about it. I liked about it that the onus is on me to ask questions and to be curious and learn and educate myself financially. And then after that, I can make what you said, informed decision. I can make better decisions because now I'm educated. And for me, I like the way you answered it. I think it closed any sort of questions that I could have had after that. I could have followed up, because definitely I was going to follow up if there was something, but you left no loopholes to say, at the end of the day, make sure that you cover your end of the deal, that when you go there, you are covered, you know your stuff. So yeah, certainly covered most of the stuff most of the questions that I had for me, I will answer, and we covered most of the stuff that I personally wanted to ask, and I personally wanted to know, that I thought people are going to benefit from. But if there's one question I have is there something that you would like to advise anyone that maybe I didn't ask, who wants to make a financial decision, who wants to invest in maybe stocks, or what you call these investments plan that you need trust, things like that. What would be your advice to anyone that say wants to invest in general as a financial educator?
As I said, and I keep saying, knowledge and information is so important. So understand yourself first. And I really think, there's a difference between saving and investing. And saving is really the first step with investing. So start learning to save first, learn the discipline of saving first. And I always say, pay yourself first. And the idea of paying yourself first is really to take portions of your income monthly, consistently, and do this on a consistent basis, rather than setting aside irregular amounts of money. So pay yourself first, start saving first. Save for emergencies, that's where a lot of people trip up. They don't save for emergencies. And it really all boils down to how you prioritize things. So start prioritizing what's going to work for you first. If you really wanna invest and save for your future, the idea is to spend less now and save more as you're going along the way. It will really benefit you at the end of it. And just have a creative idea of where you want to see yourself. Get creative ideas about making money. Become a polyjobber. Us as Old Mutual, we call it a polyjobber, having more than one source of income. And we all need multiple sources of income. Those income streams help us. It helps you get rid of debt. It helps you, make better financial decisions for yourself. Take baby steps towards saving. Very important to do that. Understand the costs of investments as well. So if I'm taking this investment, exactly what we spoke about earlier, what are the costs involved in me taking these investments, in terms of the taxation, in terms of how long this is going to last and that sort of thing. And most importantly, stick to an investment plan. Do not chop and change. Don't chop and change. Your friends will come to you and say, this is going to work. This works for me. I put 300 rands in here and I got 3,000 rands out. This is going to work. Don't listen to someone who does not have the knowledge and is not a subject matter expert. Have a proper plan. Stick to your plan. And very importantly, what I really liked about you, Thuso, is don't be afraid to ask for help and don't be afraid to ask questions. Because asking those questions and asking for help then helps you understand where you need to be. It gives you a clearer idea of your pathway and where you're going and what you need to do for yourself. So yeah, if you're looking to invest, understand what you need to do for yourself, understand yourself first, understand your personality type, understand where you need to be, and very importantly, stick to a proper financial plan. Don't chop and change. It is costly as you go along the way.
Yeah. I don't even want to add because, what does one say after that? Like I think I'm just gonna go back as myself and look at it over and over so that I can just sink in, because this is very, very valuable information that you're giving. People, you might take it for, I don't know if you take it for granted, but I know you don't. But because I know from where I'm from and the past that I'm from, not many people have information. And one of my biggest dreams is to take under constructions to this conversation that I'm having here to people who are impoverished, people who come from poor background, people who are in the most rural areas where there's no information, people who are in the township, because the sad thing about that is people will take advantage of them because they don't know, they don't have information. I'm not saying all of them, but most of the time, you find that people from such backgrounds, they're not informed. I'm someone who's in the 13-minute industry, and people will do things like signing contracts because they didn't know. All they were signing for because they were hungry, they have talent, they just signed a contract. And at the end of the day, they get shocked when they feel that they're robbed and stuff like that because they didn't have the information. They had no one to say, no, do this is how you do the contract, find a lawyer, things like that. So my end goal is to take such information to the most rural of areas to make sure that people are educated, like you are saying, like your passion of educating. I'm also passionate about educating people for different fields and different careers and just helping people become a better version of themselves. And what you just did here for me, it's a representation of what Thuso is trying to do. It's trying to, like, you are explaining my vision, like you putting it out there. So thank you for that. But before we even go and close, how important is it to be patient when you are saving and investing?
It's one of the key variables to saving and investing. A lot of the time when people are impatient, they end up chopping and changing investments, and you lose out because there are tax implications. So we must understand that when you are investing, savings is for things that you want in the short term, or for your emergency funds and things like that. But investing is actually a long-term plan. And when you have a long-term plan, you have to be patient. You can't expect to invest today and get returns tomorrow. It's never going to work. And if you take out a 10-year investment plan, what you get out in 10 years, you're never going to get out in 5 years if you cancel that or you cash in, and there's so many people that are so impatient and want the money right then and now. They're not willing to wait and reap the benefits of it at the end of that period. So being patient, you must understand that there are financial risks to that. And if you are not, it's rather not being patient. But if you are patient, you actually reap the benefits of it at the end of that period. You never, as I said, you're never going to get as much out in 5 years as you would in 10 years. And if you're taking the 10-year plan and that sort of thing. So it's important for you to make sure you are patient about the process. No one gets rich overnight. And if you do, you probably won the lotto, and that's the one in every million. So yeah, so we just have to be patient about the process. So be patient, wait out the highs and lows. Every investment product will probably have its highs and its low points. Wait it out. Don't be hasty and don't cancel, don't cash in, wait it out. If you are uncomfortable, ask for help. Ask the right questions. There are financial advisors that are out there that are there to assist you. Ask for the help.
Wow. For me, this is a wonderful, wonderful episode. And I know a lot of people are going to learn. And it's one of those where if people are really interested in improving their lives, they're going to stick it through and watch this. Because one of the things I realized, such things for people, it's not entertaining, we're not gossiping about anyone. You're not talking about anything that, it's not music, it's not alcohol, it's real stuff. And this is the important stuff. And I just hope people will stick it up because it's for their benefit. And for everyone who's watching, thank you for watching on the Construction SA. And I just want to say, before even we go, Shabnam, I want to say thank you very much for coming. We really, really appreciate you. Thank you for sharing information. And I know it's going to transform and change a lot of people's lives. And guys, don't forget, every Sunday, 5 p.m., we drop an episode on YouTube. And I'm your host, Thuso Motsomane. Thank you for watching Under Construction. We out.